I'm a building superintendent in Brooklyn. I fix pipes, collect rent, deal with noise complaints. Normal stuff. But what happened in apartment 4B still keeps me up at night. My name is Mike. I worked at this building for 6 years. It's old, built in the 1960s, nothing fancy. 6 floors, 40 apartments, mostly young professionals and students. 3 months ago, a new tenant moved into 4B. Her name was Emma. White girl, maybe 25, quiet. She paid 3 months rent up front in cash, which was weird but not unheard of. She didn't have much furniture, just some boxes and a suitcase. I like to keep things simple, she said when I helped her with the keys. She seemed normal, polite, a little jumpy, but lots of people are nervous moving to New York. The problem started 2 weeks later. The woman in 4, Mrs. Chun, been here for 15 years, knocked on my door at midnight. Mike, something's wrong next door. What do you mean? I hear crying. Every night. For hours. And other sounds. What kind of sounds? Mrs. Chun looked uncomfortable. Banging. Like someone hitting the walls. And talking. But it's just her in there, right? She lives alone. As far as I know, yeah. Then who is she talking to? I told Mrs. Chun I'd check it out in the morning. But honestly, I wasn't too worried. Thin walls. New York apartments. You hear everything. Maybe Emma was on the phone. Maybe she had a boyfriend over. But the next night, I heard it too. I was fixing a leak in 3B when I heard crying from above. Loud, desperate sobbing. Then a crash. Then silence. I went upstairs and knocked on 4B. No answer. I knocked again. Emma? It's Mike, the super. Just checking if everything's okay. The door opened a crack. Emma stood there in pajamas. Eyes red, hair messy. I'm fine, she said quickly. I heard a crash. Wanted to make sure. I dropped something. I'm fine. Please go. She shut the door before I could say anything else. Over the next few weeks, the complaints got worse. The guy in 4C said he heard screaming at 3 a.m. Mrs. Chun said she heard furniture being dragged across the floor in the middle of the night. Someone on the 5th floor said they heard a man's voice yelling, but Emma lived alone. I knocked on her door 5 times. She either didn't answer or opened it just enough to say she was fine and close it again. She looked worse every time I saw her. Thinner, paler, scared. Emma, if someone's hurting you, I can call the police, I said once. No one's hurting me. Please leave me alone. Then came the smell. It started in the hallway. Rotten, like spoiled meat. Mrs. Chun complained. Other tenants complained. It was coming from 4B. I knocked. No answer. I called Emma's phone. No answer. I slipped a note under her door. Emma, we need to talk about the smell. Please contact me ASAP. Nothing. That's when I knew something was really wrong. Building code says if there's a health hazard, I can enter an apartment. The smell qualified. I got my master key and went to 4B. I knocked one more time. Emma, I'm coming in. Building maintenance. No response. I unlocked the door. The smell hit me like a wave. I gagged, covered my mouth. The apartment was dark. Curtains drawn. Trash everywhere. Emma. I walked in slowly, and that's when I saw it. Something that made my blood run cold. The apartment was destroyed. Furniture flipped over. Holes punched in the walls. Food rotting on the floor. The smell was unbearable. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the writing. All over the walls. In what looked like marker. Or paint. Or something else. He's watching. Can't leave. Help me. He won't let me go. Written over and over, hundreds of times, covering every wall. My hand started shaking. Emma. I heard something. A whimper. From the bedroom. I should have left. Should have called the cops right then. But I didn't. I walked to the bedroom door. It was closed. Emma, I'm coming in. I opened the door. Emma was on the floor in the corner, knees pulled to her chest, rocking back and forth. She looked like she'd aged 10 years. Her hair was falling out in patches. Her skin was covered in bruises. Her eyes were wild, unfocused. Emma, Jesus Christ, what happened? She didn't look at me. Just kept rocking. He won't let me leave, she whispered. Who won't let you leave? David. Who's David? Is he hurting you? Where is he? He's here. He's always here. I looked around the room. Empty. Just Emma and me. Emma, there's no one else here. Yes, there is. She pointed at the corner. He's right there. I looked. Nothing. Emma, you need help. I'm calling an ambulance. No. She grabbed my arm with surprising strength. You can't. He'll get angry. He'll hurt me worse. Who will? There's no one here. David is here, she screamed. He's been here since I moved in. He won't leave. He follows me everywhere. Then she started crying. Not normal crying. Hysterical, gut-wrenching sobs. I pulled out my phone and called 911. Please, I need an ambulance. Woman in distress. Possible mental health crisis. Emma just kept crying and rocking. The paramedics came 20 minutes later. The police too. Emma fought them at first, screaming that David would be angry, but eventually they got her on a stretcher. As they wheeled her out, she looked right at me. You'll see him too now, she said. Now that you've been in the apartment. He'll come for you too. Then they took her away. The police asked me questions. I told them everything. They took photos of the apartment, the writing on the walls, all of it. Has she ever mentioned this David before? An officer asked. Never. I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. She doesn't, another officer said, looking at his notes. According to her emergency contact, her sister, Emma's been single for 2 years. Ever since her ex-boyfriend, David, died. My stomach dropped. Died? Car accident. 2 years ago. The sister says Emma took it hard but seemed to be doing better. That's why she moved to New York. Fresh start. I looked back at the apartment. At the words scrawled on every surface. He's watching. A chill ran down my spine. The police cleared out. Said it was a mental health issue, not a crime. They'd clean up the apartment, find Emma's next of kin, deal with the lease. I went back to my apartment that night and tried to sleep. But I kept thinking about what Emma said. You'll see him too now. I told myself it was crazy. She was sick, delusional. But then, at 3 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps. In the apartment above me. In 4B, which was supposed to be empty. I lay in bed, frozen, listening. Slow, heavy footsteps. Walking back and forth across 4B. My apartment is directly below. I know every sound that building makes. These were footsteps. No question. But 4B was empty. I'd locked it myself. No one had the key except me and the police. The footsteps stopped. Then I heard dragging. Like furniture being moved. I grabbed my phone. Called the police non-emergency line. Hi. I'm a super at 447 Riverside. I think someone broke into one of my apartments. They said they'd send someone. I got dressed and went upstairs. The hallway was empty. Silent. I stood outside for B and listened. Nothing. I unlocked the door and turned on the lights. Empty. Exactly how I'd left it. Furniture still knocked over. Writing still on the walls. But something was different. The bedroom door, which I'd left open, was closed. My heart started pounding. NYPD. Anyone in here? I shouted, trying to sound tough. No answer. I walked to the bedroom door. Put my hand on the knob. It was ice cold. I opened it fast, flipped on the light. Empty. But on the wall, in fresh black marker, new writing. Get out. I ran. Didn't even lock the door behind me. Just ran back to my apartment and waited for the cops. They came. They searched. They found nothing. You sure you heard someone? The officer asked. Positive. Could have been pipes. Old buildings make weird noises. I know every noise in this building. That wasn't pipes. He looked at me like I was crazy. Maybe I was. After they left, I sat in my apartment, lights on, TV on, trying to distract myself. But I couldn't stop thinking about Emma. About David. About the footsteps. At 4 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. He wants you to leave. My hand started shaking. Who is this? Emma. They gave me my phone back at the hospital. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to drag you into this. Emma, what's going on? Who's David? He was my boyfriend. We were together for 3 years. He died in a car accident on our anniversary. I was driving. It was my fault. Emma, I've been seeing him ever since. At first I thought I was just grieving, but then he started talking to me, touching me, hurting me when I tried to date other guys. You need to talk to your doctors. It's not in my head. Then I moved to New York to get away from him. But he followed me. He's always with me. And now that you've been in the apartment, he knows about you. This is insane. I thought so too. Until he pushed me down the stairs. Until he locked me in the bathroom for 2 days. Until he started writing on the walls. Emma, ghosts aren't real. Then explain the footsteps you heard. Explain the new writing on the wall. Explain how my bedroom door closed when no one was there. I couldn't. What do I do? I asked. Leave the building. Don't go back to 4B. Don't even think about him. Maybe if you ignore it, he'll leave you alone. And if he doesn't, she didn't answer for a long time. Then you'll end up like me. Or worse. The next day I called in sick. Didn't go near the 4th floor. But that night I heard again. Footsteps. And this time, they weren't in 4B. They were in my apartment. I jumped out of bed. The footsteps were in my living room. Heavy. Slow. Walking toward my bedroom. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and opened my bedroom door. Nothing there. But I could feel it. A presence. Something cold and angry. David, I said, feeling stupid. If you're here, I don't want any trouble. I'm just a super. I don't even know you. The temperature dropped. My breath came out in clouds. Then I heard it. A voice. Faint. Like a whisper right in my ear. She killed me. I spun around. Nothing. Emma didn't mean to. She killed me. Louder this time. Angry. My TV turned on by itself. Static. Then the lights started flickering. I ran for the door. It wouldn't open. Locked from the inside, but I didn't lock it. Let me out. Something grabbed my shoulder. Ice cold. I screamed and pulled away. That's when I saw him. Just for a second. A shape. A man. Flickering in and out like a bad signal. Leave her alone, I said, surprised by my own courage. She's suffered enough. Not enough. Never enough. You're dead. She's alive. Let her go. The shape moved closer. I could almost see a face. Angry. Twisted. She needs to pay. For what? An accident? You think torturing her for 2 years is justice? She took my life, and you're taking hers. Is that what you want? To drag her down with you? The room went quiet. The shape flickered. You loved her once, right? I asked. Before the accident? You were going to propose. Emma told me. The cold feeling faded slightly. If you ever loved her, you let her go. Let her live. Let her heal. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the door unlocked. The TV shut off. The temperature returned to normal. And I felt it leave. Whatever it was. It just left. I collapsed on the floor, shaking. The next morning, I got a text from Emma. He's gone. What? David. I can't feel him anymore. For the first time in 2 years, I'm alone. Really alone. What did you do? I told her about the night before. About confronting him. About reminding him that he loved her once. Thank you, she wrote. You saved my life. You should talk to your doctors. Get real help. I will. I promise. That was 3 months ago. Emma's still in treatment. Her sister says she's doing better. No more hallucinations. No more David. 4B is empty. We can't rent it. No one wants it after what happened. Sometimes I still hear footsteps up there. But they're different now. Lighter. Sadder. I think David's still there in some way. But he's not angry anymore. He's just lost. I leave the apartment alone. Don't go in unless I have to. And when I do, I always say the same thing. I hope you find peace, man. Both of you. I don't know if ghosts are real. I don't know if what I experienced was supernatural or just stress and old building noises. But I know what I saw, what I felt, and I know that grief can be a prison for the living and the dead. Emma's free now. She's healing. And maybe, someday, David will be free too. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. Please subscribe if you want more stories like this. And if you've ever experienced something you can't explain, you're not crazy. Sometimes the world is stranger than we want to admit. Stay safe out there.